Welcome. This is the 121% podcast powered by Century 21 OneBlue and the OneBlue Real Estate School. Our show is dedicated to helping agents achieve success by taking their business to 121% by leveraging 50% motivation, 50% education, and that final 21% action. My name is Kevin Johnson. I'm the CEO and managing broker here.
Hey, I'm Gavin Hatcher. I'm the Chief Success Officer here.
Hello, this is Daniel Rodriguez, Media and Marketing Director here at Century 21 OneBlue.
Excellent. So we have a great show. If you are watching on YouTube, please do us a favor. If you find this show brings value to you, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, click on the like, and of course, ring that bell if you want to be notified of future episodes. If you are listening to us on one of your favorite podcasting apps, please do us a favor, leave us a review. Let us know what you think of our show. It definitely helps us get in front of more people, I should say, and help more agents. And that is why we do what we do here with this podcast. So today we're going to talk about our top 5 tips to help you increase your lead conversion. And mainly we're talking about the dreaded internet leads, guys. I mean, it's the biggest challenge. We hear agents all the time, internet leads suck, right? I hear it all the time. And, I've always been a believer of leads don't suck, agents do.
Yep.
Okay.
It's that way around.
And I mean that in the most loving and affectionate way, because I think half of our listeners just went X, right?
Yeah,
but
bye.
the leads don't suck, you do. No, I mean it in a loving way, in the fact that there is this, perception that it's just junk leads. They're not buying. I pulled up some research just to get some statistics. According to Inside Real Estate, they did a study last year, came out in December. The actual number for internet lead conversion, they said about half of 1% to 1%.
Wow.
So sub 1%.
Wow.
Right. The industry norm talking point is, 1 to 2, you're doing okay. 3 to 5, you're doing good. We see here at our office rates closer to the 8 to 10% range. Varies a little bit by agent. And we can tell exactly why, so far we had 30,000 leads register, just in the last 5 years.
Ding, ding.
So we've got some pretty good metrics behind it. Another interesting thing, another cool stat, in 2014, there were 4.8 million home sales. Compare that to 4.5 million internet leads generated in the country. So more home sales than leads, right? Fast forward 5 years later, there were 5.3 million home sales and 100.2 million leads generated.
Wow.
That is insane.
Wow.
During that same time period, according to the National Association of REALTORS, agents reported in 2019 that 35% of their business was repeat referral business. That sounds good, but when you go back 5 years prior to that, that was 69%.
Oh.
So a massive drop. So now we're having a huge swell of internet leads. We're seeing repeat referral business start to drop. Why? Because agents typically, statistically, suck at follow-up. They get their commission check and it's deuces, I'm out the door, and there's none of that follow-up. The ones that do have much higher repeat referral business than those that don't. So why do internet leads have this bad perception that they suck? And in our real estate class, we teach a class called Digital Farming, and I put up a picture, and I usually get some pretty good laughs. And I say the reason why most agents will tell you that internet leads suck is that they expect to get married to their sugar mama or their sugar daddy on the first date.
Yep.
They want that buyer or that seller to be ready to buy with pre-qual funds, ready to go. Or they want that seller ready to list. They've already moved out. They've cleaned the house. They've painted it. They've upgraded all the appliances. The yard is perfect. A brand new roof has been installed. They put a pool in just to list it to help get a better buyer, right? Being dramatic, but that's one of the big issues. And the internet has also helped us, or not helped us, but has helped the buyer, I should say, the journey is longer. You go back 10 years ago, think about buying a house. If you wanted to look at a house, the gatekeeper was the realtor. And not anymore. Now there are thousands upon thousands of sites in any given major metro market with listings, you can go look at them, whether it be the big portal sites like, the dreaded Z or the other ones, or just realtor sites.
Yeah.
There's 14,000 plus members of our board, most of which have some form of a website with IDX on it. So right there, that's a lot of websites with listings. So, we need to adapt our mind. That's some of the things we're going to talk about today in our top 5 tips of how we can, get our mindset right and also convert these, because internet leads are good leads. If they visit your site, screw if they give you information, screw if they give you the email address or whatever. Just by visiting your site, if you're smart, now you're remarketing to them, you're using target. There's a lot of things you can do, and that's a whole separate, episode. But, Gavin, you had an incident yesterday as we were talking about what we're going to talk about in this podcast with the, you're sitting here in the office, all of a sudden a guy walks in, asks for you, no appointment. So tell us about this gentleman.
Oh, this was an internet lead from 2 years ago. 2 years ago, he's been in my system. So obviously, I made the steps. I reached out to him in the first place. We chatted. We built a relationship. I've been nurturing this guy for 2 years. Shows up at the office yesterday and he wants to go and see some houses, and he was talking to our mortgage guy. This is 2 years.
And he was Google. I went back and looked. Yeah. He did a Google search. And that's what cracks me up is you think about, social media, Facebook leads, typically, in my opinion, they are a lot, their intent is a lot lower. I call them the shiny object leads. They were looking at what's the latest trend, right? They're looking at stuff on Facebook, family photos, being envious of their friends' vacations and their friend's new car and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden, house, ooh, shiny object. And I go look at it. Google, they have to go to Google and type in homes for sale in Orlando, San Francisco, Chicago, wherever, and get results.
Yeah.
And then they got to pick a link, and then they got to click on it. Then they go to the site. Now they do a search for homes, and then they come up with, a registration box like, hey, before you can look at more houses, before you can look at any more photos, you need to give us your information. So then they give us their information, and they're in.
So they're serious from that.
Well, there's something going. The intent's high.
Yeah, maybe not serious right now, but they're interested.
There's definitely an intention.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I equate it to farming, right? Because you have to plant the seed. The seed has to grow.
Yeah.
You have to nurture it. Too many people expect to plant the seed and then wait an hour and go, "Where's my crop?"
Yeah. Why didn't that? Yeah.
And so that's for them. It's for the internet buyer, or the person that starts on the internet. And more than half of all buyers report that they began their search, they began their journey by visiting a website to look at homes. Problem is the average is about 180 days from registration to going under contract.
Yeah.
So we need to be more patient, and we'll talk about some of the tips. I shared with you.
Definitely.
I shared with you guys the other day, or yesterday, I should say, in our meeting. We had one in our system that came in 2014. It was one of our first leads, and the email address was go beep yourself. I'll let you fill in at gmail.com. And the interesting thing was the agent didn't want to work it. They said it's a junk lead. I said, transfer it to me. I'll work it then. Not thinking, I was just going to try to prove a point, But we couldn't drip to them. We couldn't send them emails. We could sit there and watch them. And ironically, they were literally on the site every week looking at houses. Finally, 3 years later, they changed their email address from go beep yourself to a valid, and they bought almost a $500,000 home.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay, so
that's insane.
They just weren't ready to talk. They weren't ready to get married. They weren't even ready to go on a date. They were stalking you first. They were on Facebook stalking, right? So
I see it a lot with leads that came in where you'll get the right email address, but the number is wrong. And it's just saying they're not ready right now. They don't want to talk to anybody. They don't want to be bothered. They want to be shopping around online. They don't want people reaching out and cold calling them and, hey, you want to buy a house and getting the hard sell on the phone. So they put the wrong number in. And then I've seen so many agents call that number. It's the wrong number. They give up. And it's like, no. You still got an email address there. They're still opening the listings that you're sending to them. What are you doing? Why are you giving up? This is, it baffles me sometimes.
Well, we had that one agent who recently departed us.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And my favorite thing was, the argument was we weren't supporting him. We weren't giving him anything. The leads sucked.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he leaves, we go back, all right, let's pull our company leads back. The agents with us, if they leave, they can keep their own leads. There were only like 2, but the rest were company paid leads, and they were all marked trash. In our system, when the leads got no email, no phone number, you can't get a hold of them, or they told you leave you alone, you put them in trash. The ironic thing was more than half of them were actually looking at houses. We actually made contact with them, and some are,
they're being worked right now,
ready to, buy in the next month or 2. So these were really good leads. They just weren't ready to talk at the time. And this agent, all told, the leads that are now active out of that, I went back and looked, is about 4 million in volume potential.
Yeah. It's nuts.
So, so how can we help you? So now we've kind of given you some kind of background on stats and our experience. Now let's take what we've learned over the last several years to be able to increase our lead conversion and share with you. And tip 1 that I want to share is my 3 Ps. Be persistent, be patient, and be positive. And what I mean by that is, first, you got to be persistent. You cannot give up. You got to keep pushing, and be patient with them. If someone says, I'm not interested, you call someone from Google, I'm not interested, I'm not buying a house, hang up. Well, no, they were scared of you. They weren't ready to be sold, and you tried to call and sell them. So be persistent, but be patient. And then keep a positive mindset, I think. Too many times agents get discouraged. We like to say around here, and if we're working internet leads, let's just say on the low end we do a 3% conversion. That means you're going to get 96 no's.
Yeah.
Only 3 yeses. 96. So you need to be okay and have some tough skin and be okay with rejection.
Nonetheless, those 3 that you actually land, that means a lot in commission.
Yeah.
It's totally worth the patience and the consistency. Right?
You're talking, if it's a single-sided deal, on the average commission around here, you're looking $25,000 to $35,000 in income. All right, so tip number 2, lead with service, not sales. When you do get them on the phone, don't instantly try to, start selling, getting them to buy.
Yeah.
You've had some really good luck with this.
Yep. At the end of the day, it's more about nurturing them and building a relationship, becoming friends. You don't treat them like an internet lead. They're a person on the other end. So you want to obviously nurture the lead, talk to them. Whenever I talk to a lead, I'd be like, listen, whether you're ready to buy in 6 months, a year, 2 years, I'm here whenever you're ready. So, I'm going to send you some listings. We're going to narrow down your search. We're going to find what works for you. And whenever you're ready, I'm ready. Rather than thinking about the short game and hey, I want to sell you something now. It's more about building relationships and building your customer base in your CRM. Yeah. Getting as much in there as possible and nurturing, because eventually they bloom, they flower.
Yeah, I would say even go softer than that. It's, finding out, when are you, considering that purchase, and, lead with, just some really good content. Try to getting to know them, learn what's holding them from making a decision sooner. If it's okay if it's 2 years from now, but we want to understand, why is it 2 years? Why is it 3 years? Why is it 1 year? Oh, it's because I have to work on credit, or I got to pay this bill or that bill. And then start to tailor your experience with them, that you're providing a service, not just sending listings. Asking permission. Well, would be okay if, I know you're a ways out, maybe once a month or twice a month, I just send you an email with the most recent. I can send them as often as every day if you want, but that's up to you, right? So some thoughts on that. Tip 3 is speed to lead.
Oh, really important.
The first contact. With 30K leads now and growing, we have some pretty impressive statistics to look at what is the average speed to lead compared to that agent's productivity and conversion. And we see those agents that within 15 minutes are making first contact via telephone, like picking up phone to ear and having a human to human conversation.
Yep.
Tend to have the highest conversion rates, tend to make more money, and tend to like the leads.
Yep.
And are excited about it. So that's just so important. And don't, for the love of all things, do not text. Yep. First contact telephone, then text. Follow up the voicemail with a text. Follow up the call with an email. But that first line, this is a relationship business.
Yep.
It is really easy for me to fire someone I've never talked to if I've only texted them or emailed them, because I don't know who they are. I mean, you got this British accent. They can't hear that in text, but then they're on the phone, they're like, "Oh, we want to do business with him. He's got a British accent."
It never did me any harm. Let's put it that way. That's my line every time someone says something about that. But yeah, it never did me any harm.
So then they hear this guy, like, "What the hell?" But it's so easy to just fire that person. So you got to build that relationship, get them on the phone, and start to build in service, which kind of leads into tip 4. Think outside the box. 9 times out of 10, when you call, what do you get?
Answer phone.
Yeah. Or we call in America, voicemail.
Sorry, voicemail.
Yeah, that's
Thanks for translating, guys.
Yeah, thanks for translating. Translation services provided by, sponsored by Delta Airlines.
It's about 3 times a day I come across this problem, at least.
At least I understand. I'm starting to speak Gavin, so I can translate now. Before I was like, can you explain what you mean on some things? But you had a voicemail that you like to leave that has gotten you some great results. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I mean, I like the no pressure. I like the no pressure voicemail.
Ring, 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 beep.
Hey, this is Gavin, and I see you've been registered for my website, looking around at homes. I'm just giving you a call right now just to obviously see if I can... you got me on the spot right now. You got me on the spot. But I'm just giving you a call right now just to check out... you've got me going now.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and cut.
But so basically, you've registered for my website. I see you're looking around at homes. Now, I work with people who are 6 months, a year, 2 years out from buying. So whatever your timeline is, no worries. I'm here for you whenever you're ready. And then I'd say, I just want to I'm going to send you some listings. I just want to make sure I've got the right beds, bath, budget, area, that kind of thing, just to make sure I'm sending you the accurate listings so you're not going to be surfing through a million properties that you're not going to want to see. And I try to keep my spiel in the beginning. My spiel was about 3 minutes long. They must have been on their answer phone going, "Oh, is this guy going to shut up in a second?"
No, they probably just stayed for like 10 seconds.
After you were done leaving a message, they would get a message, "Your voicemail is now full."
Yeah, exactly. I try and get back to them and be like, "Why is their voicemail box full?" But yeah, so I cut that down. I tried to cut it down to a minute and a half, keep it all in a nice spiel. It was the no pressure, answer phone message, just letting them know what I can do for them, how I can be of service to them. Not when do you want to buy, when do you want to sell, nothing. It's more what can I give you? How can I service you, and how can I make it your life easier buying a house?
And that's when people start making questions. Right?
Yeah, exactly. And I'd get most responses out of that. You had some good ones as well.
Yeah.
That's the best one. Yeah, that's like the legendary one.
So when I first got started, I in real estate, this was like literally week 1. And I'm like, all right, there's a certain dating app that you can spend money to send a shout out. And it basically is a blast message to everybody within a certain mile radius. And so I sent out a message that said, hey, LGBTQ friendly realtor here. If you're ever looking to buy or sell, give me a call. And I actually got 2 deals out of it. So, it cost me $5. And I made a lot of money. So that was kind of what got me going there. But yeah, so I did get this one message from a guy, and he actually was kind of tacky, soliciting business on a dating app. I'm like, I don't know, it works. So
Yeah, you contacted me.
yeah, and I've already got 2 other people that are talking to my lender. So I'm planning on doing it again. You know? Tacky or not, it worked. And, you know, so I was just thinking about the one customer. They actually just bought 2 houses, one later too. So
Fantastic. There you go.
actually was 3 deals out of it. But anyway, he said, hey, I coach real estate agents. He used to work for a brand that Red. And he was a coach with them. And he said, I'd love to coach you. I said, I'm not looking to pay your coach right now. You know, I'm just getting started. I want to get some money coming in, and I'm doing got some deals already. He goes, well, I'll tell you what, I'll coach you for free for a month. And at the end of the month, if you're happy with me, then hire me. I said, okay, a month of free coaching. I had no plan on hiring him at the end, but who am I to get some tips or tricks, you know? And so, you know, when we were talking about active prospecting versus passive prospecting, and when you're active prospecting, you should not be answering your phone. You should not be, you know, responding to emails. Close it all down. Just outbound dial. Calling your sphere, calling expires, whatever it is, but you're outbound reaching. And so my phone rang, and it was him. And I'm going, I'm not going to fall for that trick. He knows my schedule, and he knows I'm supposed to be calling. So, sucker. Yeah. So then I listened to the voicemail, though. It was like, hey, Kevin, it's Tom. I've got some great news. Give me a call. Bye.
And that's all he said.
That's all I said. I'm like, holy great news. All right. So I called him right back. He goes, 2 things. 1, what the blank are you doing calling me? You're supposed to be outbound dialing.
Got you.
Like, but you call and left me a voicemail, and it said great news. He goes, well, okay, bad news number 2, you're not supposed to be checking your voicemail while you're out. So how'd you know that? And I'm like going, okay, got me. He goes, number 3, that's a great message you should be leaving, because see, it got you to call me back. I said, okay, cool. What's the great news? He goes, that you just got a great voicemail greeting to leave if you're getting voicemail. I'm like, you son of a... I was like, you need a referral for me, or, you know, I was all excited, you know.
He got you.
Hook, line, sinker.
But that was a great advice. I know that got you.
It does. It gives
of
me
sales.
callbacks, especially when you call an agent, they don't respond, just leave that one. It only works a couple of times before they figure you out.
I think you may have got me with one of those
Yeah, I did.
way back.
I did. It only worked one time. After that, he never calls back.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Now I just ignore your calls.
yeah, exactly. Oh, unless there's commission check due, then I get it. Then I get my phone calls answered. That's the only way. Yeah, but it works. So, you know, the hi, it's Kevin, Century 21 OneBlue. You just registered on my site, and you're looking at homes. I saw you favorited 123 Main Street. I tried to make it personal. I've got some great news. If you don't mind, give me a call back and hang up.
And our system that we have here helps us do that as well. Obviously,
Well, I mean, I can
mean,
see what we're looking at, but
we can pinpoint them and make it personal.
right.
So that's just on another tangent.
Yeah.
But
the question I get from agents when I'm coaching them is, well, what's the great news?
Yep.
I don't know. I'll figure it out when they call. Hey, it's been raining every day here in Orlando, and look, there's some blue sky. Isn't that great? You know, it's I've got some great news. You know, interest rates are low, and we do work with a preferred lender. Or, you know, I saw the house you looked at; it just had a price reduction. Or, you know, I'll find something.
Yeah.
Right. But it works, and the clue here, the key to success, is getting them on the telephone. Talk to them. If you can get them talking, then 100% from that point forward is whether they like you or not.
Yep.
If you have a British accent, apparently it helps. It doesn't do any harm.
Yeah.
Of course, it hurt. But
I think most of the battle is being able to talk to them one-on-one.
getting them on the phone.
If I can talk to someone one-on-one on the phone, that's it. Got them.
And
I mean, they hang up on you?
No.
Oh, so I was
Charming.
I was
just trying to get the
actually
clarification
thinking
there.
yesterday. I was thinking, like, for example, my generation, or even millennials,
Oh, he's going back to the dinosaur
they
thing.
have
Here we
no,
go.
yeah.
for episode 1.
They're having there's like a really, I don't know, they're actually scared of picking up the phone, right? Why do you think that happens? What can you advise someone that is actually scared to death to actually picking that phone up and just dialing?
There's a famous company called Nike, and they have a slogan: just do it. There's the hardest one is the first one.
It's a rip the Band-Aid off moment. That's basically what it is. Or plaster, as we'd say in the UK.
Y'all call it a Band-Aid a plaster?
I know, it's weird, right? It's weird now I think about it, but
It's
yeah.
not a
But yeah, it's literally rip the Band-Aid off. Do it. Make that first call. It gets easier and easier. Like you develop a spiel. Like I was saying, in the beginning, my spiel was maybe way too long. I just,
I think it needs to be 5 to 6 seconds or less.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's
well,
gotta
yours
be.
one's definitely is.
Well, I mean, just anyone, because if I look at a voicemail, because now with visual voicemail, I can see how long it is.
Yeah.
I ain't got time for that. I'm
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah. No, it's true.
But then what my text would be exactly what I said. Hey, Gavin, I just left you a voicemail, however, and then I would basically whatever I verbally just said would be the SMS message.
Another one I used to use was, so have you given up on buying this year now?
Ooh, the takeaway.
Ooh, the takeaway. I know, it was the giving up. Nobody likes to think they've given up.
It triggers them.
It totally triggers them. And then suddenly you get a response out of someone you've not had a response out of for a year.
The takeaway close is one of the most powerful closing techniques there is. It truly, I mean, when we say closing, in true sales, right, you're always closing. You're not, the closing isn't the real estate transaction closing. It's closing the customer, the lead, a little bit further to the next step, closing to the next step. And the takeaway, I did timeshare for a brief period, and taking away, it hurts. Like, you probably can't afford this anyway.
Oh, wow.
Timeshare.
That is very aggressive.
Yeah, that's aggressive.
Yeah.
Welcome to timeshare. They pay you to be aggressive because at the end of the day, everybody's going there to say no, and you got to make money.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you're like, as long as I'm not breaking the law and I'm not being, I'll go. Let's do it. So, but obviously I couldn't do that for long. I hated it. I hated every moment. But great sales training in timeshare because it's all of those. I will use the word trickery, but the wording and the wordsmithing of things in your spiel. Like, one of the things you have to know is who is the decision maker in a couple. So, and it works in real estate, in residential and commercial. It works everywhere. But in timeshare, I would say, I get it. The two of you outside before you came in, slit your wrist. You did the little blood pack and said, I don't care what he says. I don't care how good it is. I don't care how amazing it sounds. We're just going to say no, right? One of y'all did that. Who did it? Who said it? And then the one that said it, basically the decision maker, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
So now I know decision maker, influencer. I'm going after you, influencer. I get you on board. Then we together will unite and flank the influencer and get them.
There you go.
So you have to use some of those sales techniques in psychology, I guess, with any sales process.
Yeah.
With things but the takeaway, it's my favorite.
I know.
It's my favorite.
I got the most responses out of that one. If I'd had a lead that was opening all the listings I'm sending them, they're opening all my emails, but they're just not responding. The takeaway. Suddenly you get a response and it's like, wow.
Side note, you look at the Mike Ferry listing process. During the CMA presentation, at the very beginning, one of three things is going to happen. You're going to choose to list with me. You're not going to go with me. Or the last one is, or I am going to not take your listing. It's the takeaway. And then you shut up. And they're like, well, why wouldn't you take my listing? Right? So it's the takeaway. It's built into it. It's baked into the process. So that's kind of tip 4, thinking outside the box, set them at ease, find a way to get them to call back, get them on the phone. The last step, and we've kind of touched on it a bit, the last tip is to leverage automation to scale personalized follow-up. We've talked about earlier, if you're doing 3 to 5% conversion, that's good. So, there's a lot of no's. So you need to be able to, and those 3 that say yes, those 3 that say yes might not be right now. They might be 2 years from now or 3 years from now. There are those diamonds in the rough. Our longest one's 4 years. Our shortest one is instant.
Yeah.
So they were ready to go. So it does run the gamut. There are the diamonds in the rough, my Aladdin reference. But then there are those lost treasures that take forever. Your guy, for example.
Yeah.
So you have to scale. You have to scale up. And the only way you can do that then is, all right, volume. And it's easy to do. But getting internet leads for buyers is easy. Super easy. Well, we'll do a whole podcast on that.
Yeah.
But it's the volume. And so, like, for example, having a good CRM system that you can pipe the leads in, then the system can do the heavy lifting and tell you, like, it can do the emailing, the texting,
Yep.
and it can tell you when to call.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing,
Oh, yeah.
right? And also can use artificial intelligence to say, hey, this person said 6 months, but they're ready now. Call them.
Yeah, they kind of looked at this property 5 or 6 times in the last 24 hours.
Right.
You might want to give them a call.
Exactly. So we use Boomtown here, and I'm a huge Boomtown advocate. It's one of the top 2 systems. If you're not willing to spend $50,000 or more a month, then Boomtown's your option. Otherwise, I love Moxie. But Boomtown is a great system, great AI. It will help you. We call it the high activity leads. There's a button. You don't know who to call. Click on now, because those are the people that are ready to buy now.
No.
And it's constantly churning your database to see what's going on. You can see, hey, Susie's on the site right now. She just calculated a mortgage on 123 Main Street. What?
Hang on. She said she wasn't ready for a year.
Why are you calculating mortgages if it's, a year away? So, and I'm not going to call like, hey, Susie, I know you said you're away, but I just saw you calculate a mortgage. No, service first. Hi, Susie. I noticed you were on the site today looking at houses, and you really showed some interest in 123 Main Street. I recognize or understand you're a ways away. Is there any research you would like me to do on that particular home or that neighborhood for you? Wow, service.
Exactly. Service first.
And then I'm not trying to say, hey, let's go look at it, because that's everybody. Think outside the box. What can you do to stand apart, to elevate that experience? And one of our values here at Century 21 is what if. I always ask, what if? What if I just do it? What if I just try? You'd be surprised how many what ifs turn into closing checks.
Exactly.
So, and the reason why automation is so important, according to the National Association of REALTORS, it takes 10 contacts before someone is ready to really engage and move and go into that final phase of looking at houses and buying. According to them, most recent study, the average lead is called 0.8 times.
What?
So that means leads are not called at all. There are people that don't get a phone call. They don't get call or text. They're just not even if you don't want your leads, please forward them to,
Exactly.
Yeah. Right here,
We'll
buddy.
take 'em.
We'll take whatever. I don't care what their email address is. Go F yourself. We got that. We'll turn that into some money.
Sorry, just on a tangent, I had the Queen Elizabeth one as well, didn't I?
Yeah.
at the Royal Palace or something.
Confession, that was me.
Was that you? Live on the podcast, people. My broker messing with my brain. That's amazing, though. Okay. That was a good one.
Did you do that? Do what? The lead that just came in. Like, what lead? I haven't. Queen Elizabeth. Like, what?
At theroyalpalace.com.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I think I used the actual domain of the whatever it was. Yeah, I think actually.
So was I sending listings to the Queen?
Well,
I did. I kept going. In fact, it's still in my CRM. I think you're still on a drip, my friend.
Well, no, it's actually I pulled up the email account for the Royal Palace.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no. Hey, you never know. They might want to buy something in Orlando. We'll see.
Harry just moved here, so
there you go. Exactly.
On the coast, but maybe he wants a Florida home. Oh, no, yeah.
Okay, thanks for that. Let's get back on.
But
dear.
so also in that messaging, so automation's powerful, but automation that feels like automation is crap. So one of the things I like about, and this is not a Boomtown commercial, though I do love them. So if you want to learn more, send us an email, support@myOneBlue.com, and I'll hop on a screen share and show you why I love it, because it's an amazing platform. But you can program your SMS and your email drips this way. I can say, program a text, hello, first name, comma, I hope you're having a great
day of the week.
Day of week, time of day. So it would put in, hello, Gavin, I hope you're having a great Thursday afternoon. Or if that message happens to send Sunday morning, it'll say Sunday morning. Right? I mean, so it's very personal. I saw you were on the website, because you can say, hey, were they on the website yesterday? Yes, I saw you were on the website yesterday looking at homes.
It knows.
Do you have any questions?
Yeah. It's crazy.
I saw you favorited properties on my website. Check that first and send this message. If they didn't favorite properties, send this other message. I noticed you haven't favorited any properties on our website. Did you know you could do that?
Have you found the favorites button?
You know,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So you can make it extremely personal, and people want to feel like they're being handled personally. They want that white glove service. But internet leads, you can't. You have to let the system bubble them up. Let it work and let it bring up to the top of the crop the leads you need to call right now. And that's what I love about it. One of my other tricks I will do, gosh, I hope none of my leads are watching.
Yeah, that is a big.
You know, is on the emails, don't put your signature. After for your signature, put in a ... And then I know on iPhone, I'm an iPhone guy, so sorry. I can't tell you what Androids do. I have no clue.
Oh, me neither.
It says, you know, the default signature is sent from my iPhone, right? It's a line underneath it sent from my iPhone.
Yeah.
So I would put that at the bottom, so it looks like
You
out
were
on the
personally
Yeah.
typing them.
that. And the response is greater than 50%.
Yeah.
On those.
Well, this
And
is,
don't use it every time because then they like get onto you, right?
Well, this is it. This is how, if by using the technology or a program like Boomtown, you can completely automate your, well, not completely,
99%.
99%, you can automate your business. This is how I went from being a bartender full time and being able to cope with working real estate as well and having a system do that for me.
That is insane.
I couldn't have done it
because
otherwise.
It's if you think about it, most people would say it would take hours to
Yeah.
actually do that job. But how many hours do you actually spend on Boomtown just automating everything?
None.
It's done for you.
You press a button.
You can even set up rules so when a lead comes in, it automatically starts firing stuff off. You set it up. It's like, this is for us dinosaurs. There was an infomercial called the Ronco dehydrator, and the guy on there, I forget his name, but he would you would set it and forget it. That's kind of what Boomtown is.
Yeah.
You know, and most CRM systems. There's others, KV Core, and I can't really think of any.
Yeah, there's
Sync
a bunch.
and others, and Chime.
Follow-up boss.
Follow-up boss. Follow-up doesn't do SMS though. Marketing.
No, I had that with my previous brokerage.
Yeah. So it's getting those, leveraging the tools.
Yep.
You know, making yourself bigger than you, or making yourself appear bigger as a company than you are. You're a one man or one woman show, right? You want to be, you really want to show people that you're bigger. And that's how you grow.
That's something really interesting, and I've come across this multiple times when doing media. For example, if I'm making a presentation video for a real estate agent, and maybe we're planning that, they don't want to. Something that I hear a lot is like, I don't want to show something that I'm not. Right? It's like they don't believe themselves that they can be bigger than what they are, and I think that's important to just show yourself, show the best version of yourself, even if that's not exactly who you are right now.
I mean, it's the ability to get, especially with internet leads, it's the volume. And here's the fact: if you leverage a CRM system like a Boomtown or a similar platform, you can go pay the ridiculous highway robbery, gun to your head prices that these third-party portal sites are charging for leads.
Oh.
Or our average cost per lead is less than $1 right now. Right? I talked with one agent who is at another brokerage. His average cost per lead from one of the big portal sites is $100 per lead, and his conversion rate is no better than ours. Matter of fact, it's about 1% less.
Wow.
Right? So he's spending a lot more. Well, he's getting a lot less leads. Same conversion rate. We're getting more leads, but we're leveraging the technology to work the people, down the funnel, up, bubble them up, whatever term you want to use to get them ready.
Yep.
And that's the key. So, yes, I mean, that's pretty much our thoughts. I think we've covered everything. Any other thoughts you got, Gavin?
No, just be patient. Like I said, be patient. Nurture your leads, build relationships. These are people. These are people out there. Think about how you'd like to be treated. So treat others and like you know the
real
old-
estate agents, we don't do that. Come on. Who likes getting their door knocked on at 9 a.m. on a Saturday or Sunday?
Who loves that phone call when you know if you had a long day at work and all you've done is taken a look at a quick property online and now you're getting
At least
20 phone calls.
At least it's not knocking on the door and making my dogs bark. I got an agent tell me one day, like, well, I'm adding value. No, you're not. You getting my dogs barking and waking me up is not adding value to my Saturday morning.
Exactly. Exactly.
Totally.
So yeah, the patience and nurture, and don't go for that instant gratification. Just know that you need to work with these people, and after it's proven, it's happened time and time and time and time again. Eventually, they blossom.
Just
It's I go back and look at some of the most successful agents that I've been around, and they're in previous incarnations, hospitality, service industry.
Yep.
Tend to do more because it's all about those relationships.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this business is. I hate when people say we're in sales.
Yeah.
I could not disagree more. I'm not selling a house. Absolutely not. The seller is selling the house. The buyer's buying a house. My job is to help identify the true needs that the buyer has and then help them find the right house. If I'm having to sell, I suck. Right? I shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Through my blog articles, through my video, through our website, through my social content, whatever I'm doing as an agent, right? Showing my knowledge, showing my expertise, showing what value I can bring the buyer or the seller, they will choose me. And then if they like me, they'll work with me. If they don't like me, and there's been people that, I'm not going to go work with a buyer or seller that I don't like, because at the end of the day, it's more than a check for me. It's about, I want to enjoy what I do. And most of my past customers before I became a broker, we are friends to this day.
Oh, today, okay, quick story then. I was in the car today. I was out with an agent. I was out showing an agent how to do some showings.
Shout out to David for
David Triana
for stepping up and wanting to go out today. And
So he came out with me today. I showed him how to do some showings. While we're in the car, one of my past customers called me, who we are friends forever. I've been to her house for dinner, the house that I helped her buy. Me and the missus went over there, and she calls me up on a regular basis. She talks to me for about 5 minutes about real estate, and then 45 minutes about her dogs, her cats, her husband, and everything like that. But this is it. This is the relationship. You build the relationships. She's now, getting referrals on her for a house she's selling up in New Jersey. She's got family members who are moving down to Orlando. This is it. You keep and I've already sold her a house. I could have just, I've made my money. I got my commission check.
Follow
up. And then and these are the easy ones. This is where your business is coming from. It's people who so easily forget their past customers, and their past customers can be their biggest, form of revenue.
My favorite, my favorite now, lifetime friend. There was a buyer called me, and there's a for sale by owner in their neighborhood. They needed to go through the Home Partners of America program. Back then it's called Hyperion. And so she calls us up. She goes, my husband's traveling. I can't come in and do that. So we did everything over the phone, helped her get the application, get all the documents submitted, got approved by Home Partners of America, submitted the offer from Home Partners to the for sale by owner. Deal completely done. And because it's Home Partners, the resident doesn't go to the inspection or anything like that, or just closing, right?
So
it's a mail away. Yeah, it's a mail away. So literally closed this deal and made 10 grand. Never met anyone. Never met the buyer. Never met the seller. Resident. Never met the seller. No one. Fast forward 4 months, I get a phone call. Hey, it's Lori. My mom wants to buy a house across the street in Stony Brook Crest. Would you be willing to help us? I said, absolutely. There's a gate there. Security guards are pretty strict. So I'll come meet at your house since you're across the street in the other neighborhood, and then we'll just caravan over. So we get to the house. Now, of course, I haven't met right now. Her mom is about 5'2", and just the sweetest 70-something-year-old you've ever met in your life, right? With this really, 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 really thick New York Italian, accent. And so the door opens, and I recognize Laura because we're Facebook friends. And so I'm like, oh my God, it's so good to finally meet you in person. We'd be a big hug, right? And from behind her, I have to look down behind. Here's Ann. She goes, What are you talking about? I thought he was your realtor. You ever met him before? I'm like, no, ma'am, no. See, you're high maintenance. You actually want me to come show you a house.
What?
That's what, I mean, you're rude. And we became, I mean, in that moment, because I kind of gave her crap right back, you know, it was like she
Suddenly
loved me.
Your best friends.
Oh, we were the rest of the day. My favorite thing was she was a widow and dating a guy, a much younger guy. He's like 50-something. And in the house, he was nitpicking the house, and we were in the master bathroom. And he walks out, and she goes in the master closet, grabs my shirt, and just yanks me into the closet. There's a joke there, but I will leave it alone. And so she's like, listen, pardon my language, I'm the rich bitch. He's my boy toy. Don't listen to what he has to say.
That's amazing.
I about fell out.
my
She was
God.
paying cash. When her husband passed away, he left her a lot of money. And yeah, I don't care what he says. I'm the rich bitch. He's my boy toy. My boy, he's 50, like almost 60, and the boy toy. I cracked up love. I'm like, this is what you do in real estate. I also had a Miss Alma who we ran into during a showing. The seller didn't know their 18-year-old was home. And so we walked in the room, and he was, let's just say, relieving some stress from the day.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Miss Alma, we get outside. We're going to have to check the explicit box on this show. We get outside, and Alma, English was not her first language. Bless her heart. Love her to death. We're, again, friends to this day over this one. And she's like, I could be his. And I'm like, what? Because she, you know, she keeps doing this little clawing motion with her hand. I'm like, she goes, panther, no. Cat, no. I'm like, cougar? Yes, I could be his cougar. I'm like, oh, God, I'm done. I am done.
Bye-bye.
I'm done. So, yeah.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
that's the way. And it's all about the relationships, like you said. It's all about keeping those relationships, working with people.
Yep.
I mean, I had the closing just recently with I got them a rental about a year and a half ago. Have we talked about this before?
Yeah. No.
Not on the podcast.
Yeah, so real quick, talking about rentals, Internet Lead comes in, it's a rental. Rentals suck. I'm not going to make. How much did you make off the rental?
What was it? I think about 9,500.
No, off the rental.
Oh, the rental? Oh, that was maybe $500, $600.
If that, right?
Like
Yeah, a couple $100. So that's why it takes. But then fast forward,
you
get a phone call.
A year and a half, I get a phone call from a new construction site saying, "Hey, congratulations, your buyers are under contract." And I went, "What?
What buyers?
What?" So they'd been themselves. I helped them into a rental. We'd built a nice relationship. I've been keeping in touch with them. They went off to look at new construction. They got under contract. They picked the house they wanted. And I get a phone call saying, "Hey, basically your buyers are under contract now, and they put you down as their realtor."
Whoa.
And this
I
was
had never seen the property.
And for the record, all of these relationships, all of these conversations we are talking about were Internet Leads.
Yes.
Every one of them.
Yep. Every single one of them.
And my rich bitch and her daughter,
Yep.
her rich bitch's grandson, daughter's son, right? Sold their house, listed their house with me. And then because Anne had moved there to be around her son and her grandson and daughter. Well, since son was moving out west, like Western U.S., daughter decided to sell too. It was a home partner, so they just moved out, so I couldn't list that one. But then Anne, I listed her house. So I got 5 deals.
Whoa.
5 transactions off of an Internet Lead. Yes, Internet Leads suck, so send them all.
Yep, send them our way. If you
Our
don't
way.
want them, we'll take them. Seriously.
You know, I mean, it was over $1 million, well over $1 million, because Anne's house was like almost $500K. Twice over $1 million. That one, yeah. So I'll take it.
That's the thing, and that's what happens. If you build relationships, which is what this business is all about, then these things happen. And
Well, we are up on time. I'm not sure. We're using a different recording method, so I don't have my clock
know how
on
long
here.
we've been
I
going.
have no clue. So we're just gonna go ahead and go with it. Thank you so. If you're listening on your favorite podcast app, thank you so much. And if you've been listening to other shows, thank you for coming back. This is our 5th episode. We're having a blast making them, and I hope you're having a blast listening to us and our antics and taking away some great nuggets. If you're enjoying it, please consider leaving us that review. If you're watching us on YouTube, help us grow. Hit that subscribe button. Share it with your friends, your family, your pets. I don't care. Maybe they watch. I don't know. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button if you found value in this episode. And be sure to hit that bell so that You can be notified when we release our tactical tips every week or our Mindset Monday videos. Lots of great content coming out from us here at Century 21 OneBlue and the OneBlue Real Estate School. And we try to make sure our show, while we're based in Orlando, Florida and Tampa, Florida, we try to make sure our content is as universal across the nation as we can. We want to help as many people grow their business. We are, the more our community as realtors, the more we lift each other up, the better it is for everyone in our industry. So we're a big believer in helping our real estate agents grow. We are a big believer in the 121% rule of 50% motivation, 50% education, and that extra 21% being action, taking steps and applying whatever you learn about and putting it into action. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day. Go out there and no matter what you do, defy mediocrity and deliver the extraordinary. Thank you so much.